just share some reasons why I actually stuck with robotic spine surgery. So, for those of you who know me, I started 100% freehand screw surgeon. And when I came back from my fellowship, it took me a while to convert to navigation. So in 2018, I was almost a complete navigation-only surgeon for the lumbar spine. And we had really great results, positive experience with it. These are our papers. And the hospital loved the O-arm for this reason, because we had no return for malposition screws to the OT in 10 years and a breach rate of less than 1%. So here's the big question. If the O-arm is that good, why would anybody in their mind want to change? So in 2020, when the robot came, I was an initial skeptic for all these reasons. It's just an expensive tool to put in screws. It's going to slow me down. It's so expensive. But after, fast forward 5 years later, after overcoming the learning curve, which is a big problem, after overcoming the concerns of safety, and overcoming some of the cost-effectiveness issue, I'll tell you, I'm a believer now. And I'll share with you what makes the difference. Robotics unlocks new potential. I'll say that again. It's just not to put in a screw. It unlocks new potential. And these are ones I can cover. I don't have enough time, but I'll cover the top 4. First of all, it's for complex screws. We always compare, oh, I can put a good screw as well. But we're not comparing about a L3, L4, L5 screws. Yeah, robotic screws are great. And freehand surgeons can do this just as well. What we are talking about are things like complex screws, iliac screws. Take you back to when we did freehand. C-arm screws, my gosh, radiation. That is so much. It takes 30 minutes just to put in one screw. I thought O-arm was a holy grail, 15 minutes, no radiation. But now robotic surgery comes in, and you can put it in 5 to 10 minutes. That's exactly real time. You use power drills, everything is so fast. And even for complex dysplastic pedicles, look at this tiny pedicle. It is so small. But because the robot, I'll quote video on this, the robotic arm converts a 6-degree freedom to 2 degrees. You don't move cranial caudal, medial lateral, you only move in and out. It makes it highly accurate. And you can also do it for cervical pedicle screws as well. I think the next speaker will be talking about this. So for complex screws, great. The next question is timing. I can do it fast. But I tell you, for long constructs, it makes a big difference. How long does it take you to put an MI screw? 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 10 minutes? How about this? What about 10 screws? You're doing an L2 to S1. How much time would it take and how much radiation, especially in the scoliosis?
Okay, go L2, go.
First 30 seconds is real time. We've tapped all the screws. So whatever time you have at the end of it, times it by 2. So I'm the person on the right, putting screws in. So the left L2 screw is in. These are all MIS, L2 to S1. Look, there's no C-arm next door because I'm not using C-arm. Only at the initial phases. The second screw is in. This is L3. So in less than 45 seconds, 2 screws are in. I'm going to fast forward things up. I've done 5 screws, 2.5 minutes, and my resident, he's doing it at the same speed as me. So, and 10 screws are in. Look at the time, 4 minutes. It's under 5 minutes, so times that by 2 for the entire process because I didn't show the tap and drilling the pilot hole. So imagine doing this. I think for multi-line constructs, MIs is pretty good. We shake hands as well after that. Third thing I say, construct planning is so vital. With robotic screws, you become the architect. Most of the times when you use the O-arm, you're just looking at this. You're looking at the axial cut and the sagittal cut. But the robot interface gives you one extra panel, and that's the overview. And you just look at this. That rod's going to be all over the shop because the screws are all over the shop. It'll be a disaster in MI surgery. But if you plan it well, you get an easy rod execution like so. Like this lady, you can tunnel that rod, multi-level stenosis, some scoliosis. What you plan is what you're going to get. And as I said before, because of this, it drives more MI surgery. I'm more confident now to put long constructs MIS, percutaneous screws, and that's why you can see the benefits of this. She's walking in day 3. And just the last 1 minute, you can do many more things apart from just putting in screws. You can do endoscopic surgery. We published this. You can do prone lateral surgery. Prone lateral surgery. You can actually guide that robotic arm through this space. Single position surgery as well. Kyphoplasty, and also MI lift to help you find your trajectory. For the junior surgeons, I guess, if they're not comfortable. And so I'll just summarize this in saying that robotic surgery unlocks new potential for complex screws, make you faster for long constructs, construct planning, and just more than just pedicle screws as well. Deformity, and also there's a lot of intangible benefits, less radiation, no stress, and also longevity for the spine surgeon because it's less physical when using the robot. And so with that, is robotic surgery true for hype? I think it's truth, and I'll just leave it down there. And I hope you guys can join me for next year at the SMISS meeting in Singapore, July 6, 17, and 18. Thank you very much.